This isn't going to be your typical graduation speech, but before I do start my speech, I just have a few questions for everyone, whether you're a student, parent, or even a teacher. How many of you struggle or have struggled with ADD or ADHD? How many of you have been treated like you were stupid or incompetent to learn by a school staff member from the effects of a learning disability? And if you don't have a learning disability, how many of you have been treated poorly by a school staff member just because you are you? If you've raised your hand or silently answered yes in your head, I want you to know that you are not the only one and unfortunately will not be the last. I've struggled with all three my entire life, and let's be honest. We were always the ones at the end of the day wondering what the other students had that we didn't. Am I wrong? Growing up, I've consistently been told by teachers that I'm irresponsible, unorganized, and I'm the student that never shuts up. I've been called out in front of my class to write my name on the board just because I didn't know what page we were on. I've been told in front of my entire class that I'm the one the teachers talk about on their lunch breaks. And last but not least, I've been told, at 9 years old, a week after my dad died, all because I forgot my math book. You know, just because someone dies doesn't mean it changes your whole life. The quickest thing I've ever learned in school was that school was a total nightmare. Until years later when I enrolled into Buckeye. I'll always remember walking into that school for the first time and realizing how quiet it was, but yet it had such an overwhelming amount of positivity. Once I got used to all the positivity, it felt good to walk into a non-toxic environment and to finally be treated like I was human again, like I actually mattered for once. I can always tell who the new students are because they're overly apologetic. 90% of the time, their sentences start or end with an "I'm sorry." It breaks my heart seeing that they've been so dehumanized over the years to think and feel that low of themselves, to the point they basically have to apologize for their existence. But we know something they don't yet, and it's that they're one step closer than they were before to feeling like a human being again. And that toxic cycle of rude comments is finally being broken. I will never forget those 5 words that were never said before by a teacher, but are now continuously said to me, and that is, "I'm so proud of you." I truly wish I could have held on to this for a little longer, considering she was the first teacher after all those years who made me realize that I wasn't stupid, and that I just learned differently than everyone else. She'd go out of her way to draw pictures on her little whiteboard for me, because she knew that my whole life revolved around art, and that my brain is actually artistically wired. I'm thankful for this school and the environment they've worked so hard to build for us all, no matter what our stories are or where we come from. I want to end this by reminding everyone to always be patient with others so they don't ever have to go through what most of us have been through. And I want to pass the kindness on by saying how proud I am of everyone here today for working so hard to reach this point in your lives, no matter how old you are. You still did it. You're still here. This is just the end of the beginning for each and every one of us.